All right, this is the first of 4 videos that I'm going to make to hopefully help make your life a little easier as you're trying to figure out your record book and what to do this summer for county fair projects. These 4 videos are going to deal with setup and planning, journaling, finances, and then submitting your record book at the end of the summer. So we should be in pretty good shape to make that work. Like I say, this is our first video. We're going to talk all about setup and planning so that you're ready to go. Some of you will have a lot of this setup already done because you've done it in class. You did it last summer. But those of you that are new to this, this is how you're going to get ready to roll. So you're going to log into our FFA record book at the AET.com, THEAET.com. And this is the student dashboard. Student dashboard pops up right off the bat when you get logged in. If you have trouble logging in or you don't have all the information you need, call your FFA advisor, get a hold of them, and we'll be able to help you get the info that you need so you can get in here and do this stuff. So first step in setup and planning is going to be in your profile. Your profile in the About You tile here, profile and contacts, these 2 numbers need to be at 100%. You should have all of the information necessary to get these numbers to 100%. And if you're not getting to 100% and you've filled everything out and just something's missing but you can't find it, again, call your FFA advisor and we'll help you figure it out. Not everything is required to get to 100%. Okay, you'll notice I've got mine at 100% here. I don't have a different profile picture. You can put whatever you want in there. I don't have these answered with a specific answer. I left them as no answer, though that's fine. The thing we want here is your graduation year, graduation month this year. If you're a senior this coming year, it's going to be in May of 2025. And your date of birth, as far as your birth year, is what they want in this box. So those are the only 3 things that you've got to enter up here in demographics. Make sure you click the Save button. It'll take you out, go back in, and move down to the next step. Entering your mailing address, pretty straightforward, but it's a little goofy because it wants to verify this against the U.S. Postal Service database. So as you start typing your address in, your browser will probably pop up a autofill option. Don't use the autofill. If you do, it might still work, but your best bet is to just keep typing in here, get rid of the autofill, and then the verified. See, if I clicked in the box and there's my autofill stuff, I don't want to use that. So I'm going to not use that. I'm just going to start typing. This is our high school address, right? So I'm going to keep typing, and then this verification list pops up here, and I need to get rid of my autofill stuff, so I just click off to the side. It's not Tremont, okay? Garland, or our high school is in Garland, so I don't have my address up there, so I'm going to continue to type 1350 South Main, and now there's our high school address. Obviously you can see I've already got it there. I'm going to choose it, pops it in, and then it should show up right here. That's using the verification list. That's what you should be doing. If nothing ever pops up, if it doesn't work, or if you have a P.O. box for your mailing address, you should click here. Use this click here button, and then you can enter an address manually, and that will work just fine. Okay, but don't do this until you have tried the verification tool already. In your contact information, we need 2 things, 1 email address and 1 phone number. I don't care which of the 2 boxes you put it in, if it's a home phone or if it's a cell phone, put in 1 email address and then hit save. Again, once you hit that save button, it's going to pop you out of this page, and then you can jump right back into it and continue down into the information at the bottom. You need 1 parent with a phone number and an email address, and that is enough to get you to your 100% number up at the top. If you'd like to add everything else, that's great. We'll use that in FFA awards and applications later on down the road, but the bare minimum is one parent, one phone number, and one email address to be able to move forward. Hit save, and then come back in and verify that you hit 100%. There's one thing that will prevent you from hitting 100% on the basic profile if you've done all of those things, and that's being enrolled in an ag class. So if you don't have an ag class or you haven't had an ag class, then this isn't going to work out for you. In the summertime, all of you FFA members that are going to be showing as FFA members and want to turn in an FFA record book to receive your county fair check, you need to be enrolled in the summer agriculture program. And you can talk to an FFA advisor about that. Make sure you've got that set. If you know how to enter that class yourself and you have already talked to an FFA advisor about it, then go ahead and do it. But others, those of you that aren't sure and don't know quite where we're at, talk to your advisor and he'll guide you through the process, and you should be in good shape. So 100% is where we ought to be. That's our basic setup for your profile. The next step is in your, we'll go back to the dashboard. That's going to be the easiest way to figure this out. So again, right when you log in, this is the first page that pops up, your dashboard. You see all of these tiles that you can choose to go to different places in your record book and record many different things. Okay, we're going to get to all these things later on, but the first one today, after you've set up your profile, is now setting up your project. In agricultural education, we call it an agricultural experience, okay, a supervised agricultural experience. And so that's why we call it a project or an experience here in this link. So that's the one we want to go to. Click on that link, the Project Experience Manager. You can see I've got a couple of them already listed. Those of you that are just starting out probably won't have anything, right? There's not going to be anything there. Those of you that have been at this for a while probably have a list of several. Neither of my projects have any information in them, and that's why they're highlighted in red and have several of these little red circles with an X in them, because nothing's happened with them. Some of our summer activities are going on field trips, and that can be a project, but those of you that are working on a county fair animal are going to use a project like this one. My 2024 County Fair Goat project is what I've got listed here. Yours might be a steer or a hog or a lamb. But whatever it is, we're going to learn how to get that entered. Okay, so I'm going to walk through the process just like I'm doing a brand new one, and you'll be able to see how that looks and what to do there. So I'm going to click on the Add New button up here at the top. Brings me to this page to add an experience. So my project name, I always want to include the year that I'm going to be showing that animal. So even if it was a steer and I got that animal last fall in 2023, in order for me to keep it straight, it's usually best to enter 2024 because that's the year of the county fair that animal's going to. So 2024 County Fair Steer. How about that? It is an individual project. It's yours. You may be working with others and helping, but this individual steer is yours. We're going to call it an individual project. It's not a basic foundational project. It's not agri-science, research and experimental. It's not a job where you go get paid by somebody else, but it is like a business where you own this business. You own that animal, and you accept some risk involved in that project. So we're going to select that bubble there, choose entrepreneurship ownership. That's the type of project that it is. And now we can walk down through some of these drop-down menus at the bottom. Animal systems is where we're going to be for a steer project. Any of the county fair animal projects, obviously, are going to land in the animal systems category. And then we can break those out into the species. Okay, you've got all of the options here, far more than what the junior livestock have got. So beef, swine, sheep, goats, they're all here. If you've got other projects, you can enter them as well, but we're going to separate them out by species. So if you've got some other, a chicken that's coming to the county fair, you're going to bring in your prize rooster. You can enter a different project for that and select poultry so that we can keep track of each one of them separately. Our County Fair steer is not a commercial breeding animal, so we're going to change this category and unit to head of show cattle. You could select market cattle, but in this case, this is realistically show cattle. Okay, if you had a pen of steers at home that you were feeding out and we're going to sell for beef, that would be market cattle. In the case of a county fair steer, I'm going to call this show cattle. Not all of the species have a show option. And if that's the case, market animal or market goat or market lamb is probably going to be your only option there. So go ahead and choose market if the show cattle option or the show goat option is not there, whichever species it is. So show cattle for this steer, and then we are going to select a management module because it's nice to keep track of some of the things you're doing with this special tool. Okay, there's some specific things that happen with livestock projects that this breaks out from and are different than other types of projects. So choose a manager, and in this case it's going to be the market and replacement manager, and then we'll hit save. Brings us back to this page and shows us another project that we've added that has not had any information added to it. And so in our next video, that's what we'll do to show you what goes into getting this line to turn white and show that it has some information in it. Okay, that's our first step in setting up the project. A couple more steps are going to get you there to finish this. We need to get both of these planning our pages filled in. One is your budget. This is a plan. Okay, think of it like before you bought your animal and enter in information, numbers. This is what I plan on receiving as income from this project. This is how much I want to sell my animal for. Be realistic. Okay, the county fair is good, but sometimes it's not that good. So be realistic and figure out kind of what your plan is on your sale, what you anticipate receiving at the sale. You're probably not going to have some of these other kind of things. Other income would include boosts. So look back on previous years, and if you've got a lot of boosts or a few boosts, go ahead and enter an estimate on what you are budgeting in for income from boosts. Okay, you can add each of those kind of things. Expenses down here, what are you going to spend on feed this year? Are you going to spend some money on vet medicine or plan some expenses in for vet costs? Other supplies, show supplies, soaps, shampoos, hair dye, whatever you're going to add to that steer, right? The powders and the adhesives and so on and so forth. Other things that you might include. There's a lot of other options here, right? There's much more than you're going to put in to a county fair steer, but in the categories that make sense, add what you're planning on spending and what you're planning on earning, and then hit save. And then you'll have a budget put together. I guess I could put a couple of numbers in here. Maybe I plan on making $3,500 on a stock show sale. That's realistically what this would be when we take it to the county fair, right? Other income, maybe I'm going to get $1,000. I'm not sure what normal would be, but that seems like it would be realistic. Just throwing some numbers out there. Let's say we spend another $1,000 on feed. You should also have a cost of your animal. How much do you plan on spending on that animal? Maybe you can spend $1,000 on that steer. And are you paying rent for a place to keep him? Are you spending money on fuel to get there and back every day? All these kind of things could play into it. But just for our example's sake, that's where we'll leave it for right now. Hit save, and that becomes a little green check mark, and that's what we're looking for. Okay, there's our budget. Under the pencil icon is our SAE, Supervised Agricultural Experience. Okay, SAE plan. So now we're making a plan. Again, think back before you bought your animal. What's the plan with this project? We're going to add a little written description here. This is the plan, where I want to go. Here's some examples up here in this little overview box. You don't copy and paste this, but use it as a little bit of direction. This is what I'm planning on doing with my project. The next tab is your time investment. This is the amount of time I plan on spending on this project. You can do a daily time, a weekly time, a monthly. lay out your plan for how much you plan on putting into this project as far as time goes. The next is the financial investment tab right here. Financial investment, this is basically that budget written in words. Okay, so give me a little description of that budget. Tell me what you hope to accomplish with this thing as far as your budget goes. So our last thing is our learning objectives. You should be learning something through this project, and hopefully you've made a plan for some of the things you want to learn or get better at, or you have some goals that you'd like to integrate into this project. So this is a little bit different. It's not just a matter of writing in a paragraph that says, this is what I want to do. You're going to actually go add some skill areas that match some of the ag and natural resources standards that are used across the nation. So when you click on this Add Skill Area button, it's going to bring up a whole list of options that will help you see kind of what your direction would be on learning in this project. In animal systems, that's the category we put it in back when we set up the project, and so it lists out specifically animal systems type standards. Okay, so now we're going to choose, all right, nutritional needs of animals. I'm going to add that one. I want to use industry tools to make animal nutrition decisions. Maybe that's one we want. Maybe we're going to, our steer, we're not going to be breeding, so I'm not going to choose that one. Any one of these, you can work through and find 3 of them. Find 3 that fit your program. Maybe it's demonstrating management techniques to ensure animal welfare. Okay, so there's 3 that would work well with a steer project. Browse through them, find the ones that fit for you, hit save, it goes back to this page, and now there's a little box. This is where you can type in, this is what I plan to do to learn this thing, or to strengthen my knowledge in this thing. Type that up and you're all set. Okay, when we hit save all and return, again, I didn't fill out 3 of those tabs, so our steer page, planning page, is still a red X, but once you've got everything filled out there, it'll come back as a green check mark like this budget did. So come back with journaling and finances and submitting your record book in the next few videos. So stick it out with me. Thanks for watching this one all the way to the end, and have a good one.